Went through my bag trying to figure out why it's been heavy all year, and you're telling me I had chains in there? I wish relationships had free trials. I just want to experience how it is for like 2 weeks, and if I like it, I'll continue my membership. Hey, so this is dating actually? Yeah, getting emotional about the ugly bread. Ugly bread discount, made fresh today, just not so pretty. Earth-shattering notification.
Smiley face.
Wait, wouldn't these drawings be like insanely realistic in their universe? Me and my dad went fishing, and it was basically this for 2 hours. How rubber is extracted from trees? It's a caterpillar replying, you witch. One time I refused to buy a watch because it was only waterproof to 100 meters. Not sure what sort of future I was imagining for myself there. Scuba diver? This part of the astronaut application cracks me up every time. Extensive travel required. In Shrek, Donkey reveals that he's colorblind. This explains why he is the only one not afraid of Shrek, since he just sees him as a normal guy with strange ears. Fun fact, I'm colorblind, and I do tend to not see green skin. Characters like Yoda, for example, just look Caucasian to me in terms of skin tone. Witnessed levels of innovation I had never considered. Perfect full moon. Trees in the way. Discord just raised their server cap from 2.5 million members to 25. Over half the countries in the world can now fit their entire population in a Discord server. I have a crazy idea. A mechanic in Italy has built the world's narrowest car, measuring just 50 centimeters wide. Do you ever go into someone's house and think, wow, people can get used to any smell? No, not really. This dog with gold teeth only appears when it's your lucky day. Buddy, you just went out. You wanna go out again? Startup idea. Shower with water heater. People say plutonium-238 has no commercial uses. So my fantasy football league came up with their last place punishment for this year. I should probably start researching. Okay, the official punishment for this year. If you finish last, you have to go to a sperm bank. Donate sperm, and on the form, you have to check on the box that will allow the child to contact you once they turn 18. A child has been born from an embryo frozen in 1994, making it the oldest baby ever. A psychic told me I would be killed by a 30-year-old man in his 60s. I laughed it off as nonsense. I'm not laughing anymore. I hate when I become a regular somewhere. I used to buy soup at a corner store every day, and one time the old man who owns it went, "You sure like soup?" I didn't go back for 3 months. Well played, horses, well played. Then versus now. Very smart. What's the difference between finding out and realizing? Finding out versus realizing. I was laughing, and my dog thought I was hyperventilating and got me my emergency inhaler. So much love in those eyes. When you hit your knee on the corner of the table, and the surge of pain that courses through your body forces you to eat the nearest person alive. I hate when this happens. Went swimming for exercise for the first time in 15 plus years, and at the end of what I thought was a pretty normal lap, a lifeguard came over and asked if I was okay. Overheard a guy ending a conversation. Well, those are all my funny things I had to say. My husband saw a rabbit in our yard eating grass and said, "That would be like sitting in a field of french fries." Do the Decepticons call themselves that? Or is it like a robot slur? I hate how research papers are written. So much yapping in them. Just get to the point, bro. Baby is finally asleep. Let's put the skull on him. One day, you too will turn 50 and realize you no longer look like your teenage self. When that happens, you'll see how just pointlessly nasty this post is. Screw ChatGPT. Wikipedia is my ride or die. If I'm gonna be misinformed, I want to be misinformed by the people. Wikipedia is actually more reliable than most textbooks, thanks to the unparalleled might of global scale, fully weaponized autistic pedantry. Bob Odenkirk says he wants to end Mario. I'll end Mario. I'll tear that mustache off his face, jam it down his throat, take his swimming goggles and rip them into pieces. Me staring at the ATM when I'm done to make sure that guy goes back to the home screen. Man tried to match me, so I was being nice and now I'm howling. Girl, I don't know if you know this, but I think you might have set your gender wrong. Sorry if I'm assuming and wrong, but I'm a lesbian. Figured I would match and tell you. What? You're lying. That's why I've had no luck. You just had like a gay profile. I'm a waitress at a venue that does at least 2 weddings a month. Over 4 years of working there, I got with 2 bridesmaids, a groom, and multiple times was offered a something with the married couple, but they always backed out after having a chance to sober up. That's disgusting. I hope you're not a waitress at Josh and Katie's wedding, where I'm best man at Copthorne Hotel on July 16th, 2022. At what point in my 20s do I stop feeling like a teenager wearing an adult costume? I don't know. I'm still there. I once went on a date with a girl, and I asked her what music she listens to, and she said, "Whatever Spotify gives me. I don't know artist names." What exactly do non-smokers do to get through a bad day? I don't smoke, I don't drink, vape, drugs. I drink chocolate milk, and if I don't, I end myself. Someone liked a ton of my tweets at once, and their account has 0 followers, and was just made, and I thought, that must be a bot. Then I looked closer. It's my dad. It's increasingly clever that Ellen DeGenerate was an environmentally significant apex predator in the media ecosystem. She'd have extracted all entertainment value from the Hawk Tour Girl in a 3-minute segment and banished her back to anonymity, maintaining ecological balance. Jeff Bezos really worth $200 billion, and isn't Iron Man or Batman yet? That dude's a bum. It's cause he's Lex. I'd be Batman. Remember back in 2013, when the Infinity Ward officers got raided by the LAPD and the police got into a standoff with a life-size statue of Ghost. You put this Pomeranian into Britain. Blimey! In 1999, a family could afford a suburban McMansion on a single income as a waste management consultant with no college degree. Medieval peasant staring at my phone. I understand this tweet just fine. And the Dorito? That's alright. This is the scariest pumpkin I've ever seen. It was made for me. This is my hole. Props to anyone who tries to be fashionable in Ireland. In Ireland, I wore a red beret. Once in Waterford, and someone called me Super Mario. Was wearing a vintage Nike jacket in a very long queue for drinks at a boxing match, when a Belfast lad goes, "Wow, this is taking forever. Your man has been here since the 80s. So these guys were basically caught in a drug bust. That guy's in my group and we've got a presentation tomorrow. Is Beyonce bigger than Michael Jackson? This is not a value judgment, but Michael Jackson was more famous than you could possibly imagine. Like the Pope or Coca-Cola famous. Harry Potter is sort of crazy. I would have never fought a war for my high school, same, but I also didn't have magic powers, so if they taught me magic, I think I would. Guy who invented the clock. There will be 12 numbers on it, friend. So the day will be divided into 12 segments. No, 24. So will the day start at 1? The day will start at the 12, which is at night. The 6 means 30. My wife, with a master's in biology, just disagreed that penguins are birds. Then she adamantly got out her phone, googled something, then silently put her phone down and continued as if nothing happened. I've done this before. Why do the words caregiver and caretaker mean the same thing? Shouldn't they be rival jobs that undo each other's progress? This actually happened. My dad was suspicious of Itachi because he didn't understand why he was acting like his arm was in a sling. This is why everyone is looking at the camera, but my dad is looking for what Itachi is pointing at. Question: did anyone ever grow up with a treehouse in their backyard? That's something I would always see in TV shows and movies, but I never saw one in real life, nor did I ever meet anyone who actually had one. Maybe it was a thing more common in the past or something. Get my mama off whatever side of Facebook she's on right now. Have you heard of Young Thug the rapper? He was forced to eat bugs when he was 7. Who forced him to eat bugs? A customer couldn't decide between 2 desserts, and her boyfriend said, "Just get both, it's your day." And I was like, "OMG, it is your birthday? Is it your birthday?" And she said, "No, he says that every day." My friend just found out 1 year into a relationship that her therapist is her boyfriend's mum. When I was younger, I thought Tiger Woods ended someone's life. The whole time he just cheated. Riley says there's a dead possum and asks if he can pray for it. Sure. A minute later, I get outside and he's kneeling in front of it, chanting, "Rise, rise, come back." And I find myself explaining the difference between a prayer and a necromancy to a 7-year-old. Parenting is strange. Everyone on this site is 10 to 100 times smarter than me, and I hate it. Custer is kind of an idiot for showing up to a battle called Custer's Last Stand. Dude, it wasn't called that until after the battle was over. Do you think everyone knows the name of each battle before they even took place? Who's jumping on they Chuck right now? Are you kidding me? I stay away from beef-flavored cat food. At no point could Sylvia realistically bring down a cow, and I don't need that kind of ego in the house. Who's winning in a hater-off? This Lex is an S-tier hater, but nothing will top going to church and literally asking God to end someone while tears well up in your eyes. Truly, what is with the trailer starts now nonsense at the beginning of every movie trailer now? I hate how many ads there are at the beginning of movies. Arrive at hotel in Paris. Say in the best accent I can muster. Salut, j'ai une réservation. Immediately get the response. What's your last name? Heartbreaking start to the holiday. Every year you guys say, what did Kevin's dad do to afford that house? What about his mum? Am I to think a woman with this many pantsuits is a homemaker? Got hammered last night. Let's see what we cooking in the giraffes. If I got kidnapped, I'd be in the trunk farting. Okay, so does the Green Lantern ring hypothetically need to be on the finger? Because I have another cool idea. Some of the nice things about Fool are going to bed when it's dark and waking up when it's dark and going to work when it's dark and getting off when it's dark, eating dinner in the dark, embrace the dark, become the dark. Sees beyond my wife's arm. Uh-oh. I roll up a newspaper. Babe, stay still. Using newspaper as a megaphone. There's a bee on you. I've opened 3 birthday cards and I'm already 150 pounds rounds up. I love being a postman. Breaking. FBI warns the public not to point lasers or attempt to shoot down suspect drones in New Jersey. Well, that pretty much ensures people are going to point lasers at drones now, doesn't it? Question mark Coates. The Riddler if he slayed. Me when a photo is taken. Ew, I look terrible. Me looking at that same photo years later. That was the best I had ever looked. The thing with bearded thing is that it implies the presence of rock hairs. You know, hairs down there? Now you gotta think about it too. Let's meet at 2 p.m. Me. Okay, so it will take 20 minutes to get there, so I should leave at 1 p.m. just in case. I should be dressed by 12, shower at 11. I should make sure to eat by 9, which means I should be up by 8, which means I should go to bed at 9 p.m. the night before, which means I should. My son on why Caleb is his best friend at kindergarten. He doesn't really speak English, so he can skip all the talking and just get right to karate. I don't negotiate with terrorists. Who am I speaking with? I will negotiate with Dr. Pepper and Dr. Pepper only.
Hey there, Dr. Pepper is not a real individual and thus would not be available to speak with you. I would be happy to connect you with our head of in-house counsel, John Bob.
If you would like to speak about this further, I want to speak to Pepper. Me, when the restaurant brings out bread for the table. Dogs aren't supposed to have bread though, neither am I. My wife called to tell me she saw a fox on the way to work. I asked how she knew it was on its way to work. She hung up on me. My parents launching me into adulthood after overprotecting me my whole life. Me driving at 3 a.m. Ooh, so fun, cool adventure. Me seeing another car at 3 a.m. What the hell are you up to, shady bastard? Chess guys get so mad when you call it a horse. Buddy, that's on you. You're the ones who chose to make it that exact shape. Jacket potato led to jail gun threat. Caught his. We have an idea for a video game. Picture a big gorilla on top of some metal framing hurling barrels at a plumber. That could not make any less sense. What's the gorilla's first name? Donkey. 2 unread emails. From HR. Please fill out our anonymous survey. From boss. Don't forget about the survey. HR said you're the last one from our team. As soon as Sam from iCarly found out she had a crush on someone, she checked herself into a mental hospital. We could all learn from her. We have a color named after you. Salmon. Really? Is it silvery blue like my outsides? No. Wait, why is it pink? Why? Ordered 40 pounds worth of Indian food and it was delivered to our neighbor by mistake. Knocked on the neighbor's door to see if they had it and they had already started eating it. I'm dumbfounded by this. Do people just accept and eat other people's food? Is this normal? Okay, in the Flow Rider song Low, does boots with the fur mean boots with a fur jacket or boots with a fur accoutrement? It's incredible to me that we think we understand ancient texts when the context of even 20 years ago is already lost. Started realizing women appreciate the fact that you made plans sometimes, even more than the plan itself. It's the pre-thought part that has them. Local man discovers effort. We are the daughters of the monsters you could not mash. One of the most underrated benefits of having a cat is that you get another creature to look around in confusion with you. When you hear a random loud noise in the middle of the night, this was the biggest IT outage ever. If you exclude the period from 13.7 BC to the mid-20th century, I'm a night owl. All owls are night owls. You're a regular owl. My 16-year-old came and got me really late last night and asked me to come into his room, which was alarming. It was the northern lights. He could see them from his bedroom window and wanted me to see them too. I'm going to remember that forever. Raw milk is one of those ideas that can really take hold when people haven't seen a cow. If you see a cow from, let's say, 10 feet or less, you immediately understand the problem that pasteurization is solving. Warner Bros. Is selling 10 fully functional spools of copper wire from their historic Burbank studio. Guys, I don't know if Warner Bros. Is going to exist in the next 2 years. I love New York. I just threw up on the sidewalk at 10:45 a.m. and nobody did anything. Yeah, New York is like London. No one cares. When you think about it, this is basically what peacocks be doing. When I was a little emo, this guy asked me out. I didn't hear from him on the day till he texted me saying sorry and that his bat had died. So I got him a condolence card and a present and took it to the date like, I'm sorry about your pet bat. And he was like, no, I meant my phone battery. You're a very caring person, Holly. I'm so glad Gaga became a legend. I remember in high school, my math teacher was like, let's see where she is in 10 years. And here we are, 10 years later with Gaga being a legend and my math teacher being in jail for sleeping with students. Bless. I'm sad to report that a friend and I went to a very authentic Hunan restaurant, added stinky tofu to our order, and was told by the waiter, no, that's only for people from China. You won't like it. We both said that we were excited to try it, received it, and in fact could not eat it. Yeah, the waiter was not being racist. They were telling the truth. I'm sick of pointing a gun at my dad through my window at 2 a.m. as he pleads, come on, Jake, just let your old pa in. I'm tired. And replying, you're not my dad. He's asleep in the other room. I hear him snoring, then watching his expression go sour as he turns back towards the woods. Sonic EXE is on the naughty naughty list. This is soul-crushing information. I'm deeply apologetic for my actions, Saint Nick. Instead of speak now or forever hold your peace, each one of my groomsmen will ask the bride, is this guy bothering you? And she has to say no. The Academy is now implementing a new rule that members must now watch all nominated films in each category to be eligible to vote in the final round for the Oscars. They weren't doing that before. I asked ChatGPT, I asked Grok. Well, I just made up some stuff and people believed me because I'm well read and use big words. It's always nice making up things on the spot which sound believable, because sometimes you're right. I actually saw Avatar for the first time earlier this year, and it was mostly an interesting mush to me, but it did contain exactly one image that will haunt me forever. Someone told me that the most realistic thing about Avatar was that a Stanford grad would make a giant Stanford shirt for her alien avatar so that the aliens would know she went to Stanford. Hey guys, look at me, I went to Stanford, Harvard. Had an elderly boss who got scammed out of 5K in a your Mac is infected call. I told her it was a scam plus reported it to Chase Credit. That night, she called the scammer angry. I'm sorry, he said. I'll refund you. What's your debit card info? Guess what does she do? Why is this cut off? 5 years later, it pains me to admit getting rid of the headphone jack was correct. It made every single public space hostile. Civilization's scale bad decision. Straight men and lesbian women need to work together to create the kind of bonds gay men and straight women have. We are decades behind. Sometimes I see how many vacations people take, and I wonder if I'm bad with money or if they are. Had the best day in a long time. Saw ad of cat that went missing a few weeks ago from their elderly owners. Offered to try and find her. Went out at night, found her in 2 hours. The owner's faces when they saw her was worth more than all the money in the world. Pro tips. They stay close to where they disappeared. Buy hot cooked chicken. Smell is intense. Bring personal items. Found my cat 9 months ago, and now this one. Probably gonna start a hobby around finding missing cats.